Are you thinking about selling your investments and getting out of the market right now? Hi, I'm Rick Edelman with 4 quick questions before you do. Do you have a diversified portfolio? Is your personal situation and are your long-term financial goals unchanged? Are you rebalancing your portfolio like you should? And do you have sufficient cash reserves? If you answered yes to all 4 questions, you don't need to change your investments. But if you didn't answer yes to all 4, then call us right here at Edelman Financial Engines right now. If you're not properly positioned to weather this storm, you could be at risk. We've helped thousands of people just like you get through wild markets just like this one over the past 3 decades. And we can help you get through this crisis too. If you're at all uncertain, call us at 888-PLAN-RICK. That's 888-PLAN-RICK. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com. Call us and call us right.
Medical hydration therapy, pain management, and more. You'll find that you can access all of these services and more in one place. Innovative Medical Associates. Innovative Medical Associates is a group of healthcare professionals who throughout their careers have found that through the use of nutraceuticals and other unique protocols, there can be a better way to treat many of today's medical challenges. Under the direction of Dr. Molly Fantasia, the PhD doctor and founder of Innovative Medical Associates, their unique medical hydration protocols can help with a variety of medical challenges, including cardiac issues, cancer support, and pain management. For more information on how Innovative Medical Associates can help you, call 856-489-0505. 856-489-0505.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that louder?
InnovativeMedicalAssociates.com.
Can you hear me now? Does that sound better? It's loud in the church.
856-489-0505 for Innovative Medical Associates.
I can turn the levels up at the panel. It'd be better if I turn the levels up at the panel.
If you're into big jackpots or big fights, Parks is Pennsylvania's #1 casino with brand new tables and slots, new restaurants, and the Excite Center featuring the hottest acts. The best is better than ever. Parks Casino. What a night.
Can you hear me better? Better, but background noise.
This is an important message from Jacoby and Myers.
It's very quiet here in the church, so I don't know where that noise would be coming from.
Cerebral palsy, intellectual
Literally,
disability,
there's not even a
or
hum of
serious
anything.
Injuries. Did a doctor or hospital make a mistake? And who will pay for the lifetime of care? Call 1-800-458-6611 to learn if your family may be entitled to compensation benefits. For a free consultation with lawyers and an independent medical staff, call 1-800-458-6611.
We've got the radio station.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. Radio.com station. Live from the Malamut and
Because it has an antenna. The antenna is picking up the radio station.
Hey, Good Friday. The hits keep on coming here with Dom. Don't forget the.
So the background noise is louder than the microphone.
You see the picture of Dan in it. The 2020 Dom Time calendar. It looks political.
Okay.
Whoa. Is Dan Borowski's birthday in there?
I think it is.
I don't know how that got in. How about Joe Sebelius?
No.
It did not.
No.
That's an outrage. Well, you snooze, you lose. He's out today, so anything can happen. Joining us next is Robert Jacobowski. Robert is the Audubon, New Jersey Director of Public Works, Parks and Buildings, and Commissioner. He's currently the Deputy Director of the Camden County Department of Health and Human Services, and he joins us here on Talk Radio 1210.
I just turned the level up on the digital listening device. Did that make it any better, or is it still, did I increase both the radio station and the microphone?
So we got a call yesterday from a good listener who claimed that some towns in South Jersey have taken down basketball hoops. And somehow or another, Dan tracked us down, and we've come to you. Are you involved in the decision making on stuff like that?
Still there? Is it any better or no better? Did the signal to noise get better or with no effect? They both increased at the same amount.
But the borough administration and the school board had a discussion
Text same amount or better?
a week ago, before the governor even did the 24/7 stay-at-home order, we shut down all the parks, the recreation areas, and that included the basketball courts. Because, we've been asking people.
Okay, so we have to find a way to filter out the radio station.
When we get outside, just 20 people hanging all over each
Same.
other.
Okay,
playing
I got you.
basketball.
All right,
That's
I'll call
embarrassing.
the AV guy and tell him that we have it, but the antenna's picking up the radio station. He must have it filtered out for the speakers in the church, but not for that listening device. Hang tight.
Over at Eastern High School, not exactly the purview we're talking about, how difficult it is to get the parks and trails. Everything is fenced off, even tennis courts and things of that nature. Are you involved in anything like that also?
So, yeah, I mean, we had a park that, and we just added some brand new equipment to it just a couple months ago. We're ready to use it for the spring, but we have to close it off. We can't rope it off. It's impossible. But we have to put up signage that, this will not be cleaned. Please practice social distancing. If you're here, it's at your own risk. But we really don't want you in the parks playing on the equipment because it's just inherently with kids playing, and I think adults are worse. When we play, we forget about the rules, and we're within 6 feet of each other far too many times.
All right, but wait a minute. Let's talk about that, though. There is an issue. I'm sure parents might take their kid to a place, something they do, and they would wipe it down and all. There is a value, tremendous value in finding places to exercise now. People feel safer doing it in the park. With the basketball thing, I'm a basketball player, so I hear you. I mean, this is probably the worst sport in a lot of ways for that type of contact. But there are people that just like to go and shoot themselves on one and a three-point foul shot, stuff like this. What do you say to those? And that's why we got this caller and others, Robert, who think this is excessive, that people ought to be able to make their own decisions on this stuff about staying within boundaries of safety.
Well, people haven't been making the right decisions. If we let just you out there, fine. Would you be the only one, or will others join you? What we saw was 20 kids at a time playing one game. And these weren't kids from our town. These were kids from other towns driving around. The big told us this. We drove around until we found someone who had hoops open. So
Okay.
These are people coming from all over the place. No one was practicing safe social distancing, Dom. You may do it, but many others weren't. And sadly, you may have to suffer for that because others weren't following it. This is important. We maintain our social distancing so we can flatten this curve.
We understand that, and I get it more with the basketball thing of what you just said. Well, you feel no tension here, too, though, with individual rights and liberty at all.
I think we all suffer during this, and it is saddening for this. There are ways to adjust. I do it myself. I have a friend I run with 3 times a week at 5:30 in the morning. Well, it used to be 4:30. But when the government didn't want us on the roads before 5 a.m., we started meeting at 5:30, and we don't run next to each other anymore. We're at least 6 to 10 feet from each other while we put in our time running. And then my kids and I will go for a walk every night. We can still get our exercise.
Okay, let me go back. Let me go back to you, Robert. Something you said there, not to be nitpicky, because you're a good guy to come on and explain this. You just said the government said. Now, see, this is where it goes too far. If you're keeping social distancing, this curfew thing, I don't understand any of it. It's not mandatory. Why couldn't you run at 4:30 then versus the 5:30? That part is frivolous. The hoops are a different thing. I get that. But the government making that determination, I just think is kind of frivolous.
So, the time itself may have been arbitrary. I don't know. I'm not going to question what our governor had said. But we need to create these boundaries. We need to create these restrictions. It's for a short period of time, Dom, because people are getting sick. There are people dying every single day. What is it, over 200 some people died yesterday alone. We need to take this serious. We need to take these tough steps now so that at the end of this, we can go back to enjoying the true American freedoms that we have.
Okay, and I would just emphasize, again, where I'm coming down here, you see what I'm saying? I am taking this seriously. I think the curfew thing was frivolous. The basketball thing, 20 kids showing up and playing, that is a real risk. There is no doubt about that. So I'm not a crazy. I just wanted you to know that. I get your point on that. What else can you tell us you're looking at doing that's imminent? Are there other steps that might be taking that people should be aware of that are under discussion to try to flatten the curve here?
So, at the borough level, we're going to follow guidance from our governor. We're going to follow guidance from our county freeholders and the Camden County Health Officer. We're not aware of anything new coming down the line.
Okay.
We think, we think people are doing it well. I mean, in Audubon, we see people doing it a very good job. They're keeping separate. We're not hearing about parties. If people get a little bit lax and they start to come back together again, maybe we'll have to do something. But right now, the 9,000 people live in the borough of Audubon, they're doing an okay job. Let's just keep going.
All right. Well, Robert, thank you. Have a good run. I was impressed with the 4:30 in the morning. That is, that's good stuff. Thank you for joining us today, too, very much.
Great. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. There's Robert Jabowski here on Talk Radio 1210. So, Dan, are you still in the camp now? I rejected the curfew and the running, 4:30 versus 5:30. That's frivolous. That's what people are objecting to. How about the basketball thing? Did he make his case to you?
Yeah, I think he made his case. I'm still erring on the side of caution. I still stand by the one bad apple spoils the bunch. And I feel like you have to play to the lowest common denominator, and that's people that are still going out and playing these pickup games. And I'm sorry, but they're ruining it for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, for people who just want to go and shoot, or maybe it's two people, they're passing the ball back and forth or whatever, I was all ready to challenge him to one-on-one basketball after this is over, but my card is very filled up. I have you. I have that Wang guy, Andrew Wang, remember, who hasn't agreed to do it yet. He's too busy with CNN.
Yang.
Yang. I'm sorry. What did I say the other? It's Andrew Yang, and, there might be a multitude of others.
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles wants to play. That's right. The list. You can get on the list. Just send Dan at Dom Show 1210.
No.
Yeah, you can get on the list. Dan will handle all these appointments. I'll determine whether we'll play you and where. But it just doesn't seem. I hear what he's saying. I'm glad the guy called in, though. And it does look, this is right. People have to understand. Beautiful day yesterday in the sunshine, too, where I was running, walking Germantown Avenue. A lot of people out, Dan. A lot of social distancing, though, that I saw. But basketball under this, that's pretty tough. 855-839-1210. Is this excessive, do you think? And the point I made earlier in the show about Governor Murphy, our buddy Matt Rooney made that on his website, SaveJersey.com. When Governor Murphy gives us all the horror of the day in these news conferences, we should know, though, how many of the cases in Jersey are just hospitalized, how many are on ventilators, how many are home watching Netflix in quarantine. In other words, this is a serious thing. But are we going overboard by not putting any perspective on it about what's happening with various people, even if they contract the virus? What about taking down the hoops? And this, thanks for the email from the person over there in Eastern, Voorhees, telling me it's like a police state there to stop people from getting in. All right, our buddy Tom Crone, head of the revitalized Republican Party out there in South Jersey, Camden County with us. Hey, Tom, thanks for responding. Good morning.
Good morning, Dom. How are you today?
Good.
Listen, for the record, we here in Camden County, we as Republicans support this idea of everybody trying to do the best they can in the circumstances we have. But listening to your previous guest and him just regurgitating the nonsense that people are dying every day, we have to do this to flatten the curve. This guy's just parroting things he's being told or he's listening to in conference calls at this point. Governor Murphy has failed epically the people of the state of New Jersey. Even Governor Cuomo is now saying that maybe we need to stop this nonsense and get back to a sense of normalcy at this point.
Right, as I just said, Tom, let's put it in proportion. When he talks about the number of cases, why he has all the data. Let's hear, rather than just the scare stories, let's put it in proportion. Let's hear some hopeful signs. That being said, Tom, I don't know about you. I'm a little bit hinky on the basketball stuff, though, too, because I play, it's my whole thing of a lifetime. I know how much contact there is there with that on a sweaty, hot day. Don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'll be honest with you. I live in Gloucester Township with Mayor.
Yeah.
And in most of the developments here, each one has a little park in it with a little playground, swings and little climb-on things. People were not keeping their kids off of it. So what happened was, it was Public Works, the police department came through and taped it up with, police tape, so you can't use the equipment. I guess that's the same thing as taking down the basketball hoops. And, we have to have a lot of personal responsibility as citizens. We can't bark back at the governor when he's failing, when we ourselves are not failing as the citizens. But we're talking about an overreach here. And when I hear a public official start talking about how we have to give up our liberties and it's a good thing and just shut up and do it till we get through it, that bothers me.
Well, and case in point,
is the head of the Republican Party.
I agree. When I challenged the curfew thing, running at 4:30 versus 5:30, it's frivolous. It definitely is frivolous.
That's one of the most nonsensical things is this curfew. I'm not sure if you just can't get sick after a certain time. And getting people off the street, that's why. Why are we off the street? We're all staying home. We're doing this social distance. I hate that term, by the way, the social distancing thing. Everybody's trying to do it. But at the same time, we've done our part. Government continues to fail. You can see this. And when the president brings in the private sector to fix problems the government has caused, you got to take a pause and say, who are we going to listen to? And at this point in time, I think it's time that we start looking at a little bit of more hope. And the president's giving us that, and Governor Murphy is not.
Absolutely. Tom, right. I have to run at this point. Give me your oxymoron. Do you have one?
Yeah, government worker.
All right, I said city. Yeah, he wanted broad, and he's got governor. I got you for that, Tom. Government worker. Brutal, Dan. You had a soft one. We got the hard fastball. Coming up, our buddy, head of the FOP locally, we'll take your calls too, John McNesby. What is this like for the police in Philadelphia? New York NYC cops have been decimated by this, the virus and everything else. We'll talk with him and how they honored Sergeant O'Connor last week. But your calls, your reaction to taking down the hoops and the rest, and my interview with Robert there, who I'm glad he came on. 855-839-1210. You get him right now. not doing that stuff? No. All this little goofball governor is doing is out there throwing around more edicts and virtue signaling with his attorney general that they're going to ride roughshod over the stuff. Wolf hasn't been as heavy-handed, but he has been less buttoned up as far as all these waivers, exceptions, and nobody can figure it out other than if you're an insider like Starnetti and Wolf, your business remains open. The Peeps people have closed down. I'm told there'll be enough Peeps for Easter, thank God. How is Starnetti open? Why was his candy business open? What should the penalty be? The penalty ought to be that that guy, his business is put out of business for 6 months or something, or a massive fine personally on him. This is what gets people nuts. This double standard, these winners and losers, that's what you know these authoritarians are going to do. All right, let me go to Joe in Westchester. Joe's next in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe, good morning.
Hello?
Hi, Joe.
Don? Yeah. Listen, you just stated in your comments just now my oxymoron. And that was, and first of all, I agree with you that Governor Murphy's worse than Tom Wolf. But Tom Wolf did do something that I was going to call about anyway, the other day, and I never got a chance. But the oxymoron, when you have to reverse it, life-sustaining abortions, because he gave the exception to Planned Parenthood abortion centers, calling them, that they're not non-life-sustaining businesses, okay?
No.
So that's the oxymoron. Planned Parenthood itself is an oxymoron to me, but
well, that's right, because right now, as I understand it, they're exclusively doing abortions, pulling away that web that they offer these other sacrifices. Those essential sacrifices got thrown out.
hear me? Can you hear the sound? Is there sound now? Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you hear any sound? Is there any sound at all? Is it loud enough? Is it loud enough? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Father saying Mass. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D. Do you think that this is working now? Can you tell me if you think this is working now? Have we solved the problem? 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Very good. Excuse me while I pat myself on the back. One last time before I go. Is this working, Brandon? One last time before I go. Do I have the all clear for Father to say Mass tomorrow and turn on his microphone? One, two, three. Is this streaming working? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me very well? I echo. Oh, you know why? Because I have you on the phone, speakerphone. Hold on. Now, does that sound better? Oh, you have to text me. You have to text me if that sounds better. I just had Ann test it from home. She's going to text me back to see if it sounds good from where she's at. All right, guys, I'm out of here.